The orb fusion. On December 26, 2025, the sky over Jardim Angela in Sao Paulo, Brazil, became the stage for a silent, luminous display. At approximately 10:20 p.m., residents looked up to find glowing orbs hovering in the darkness. While Sao Paulo is no stranger to aerial activity, these lights didn't follow the flight paths of local helicopters or the steady blink of commercial jets. They hung in the air with a weightless quality, turning a warm summer night into an unsettling investigation of the unknown.
No interior do Paraná, e hoje por aqui em São Paulo.
Muito grande para ser um avião, quase o tamanho de um prédio. Olha no zoom do seu celular para ver. Olha, diminuiu, ó.
Eu tô falando. A outra se mexendo, tio, aqui na imagem, ó.
The footage captured that night reveals a phenomenon that goes beyond simple lights in the sky. Observers noted what appears to be a rare process of fusion and fission occurring midair. In the recording, a single UAP is seen splitting cleanly into two or more distinct objects, each moving with its own independence. Moments later, the process reverses. The separate orbs drift back toward one another, merging seamlessly into a single unit once again. This liquid-like behavior suggests a technology or a phenomenon that can manipulate its own physical form without losing its glowing intensity or structural integrity. How can a physical object divide and rejoin while maintaining a steady position in the sky? If these were drones, we would see individual frames and hear the buzz of rotors, yet these orbs perform their merging act in total silence. Some suggest this could be a rare form of plasma or atmospheric energy, but the deliberate way the orbs separate and return to a single craft hints at a conscious control. We're left wondering if we are seeing a new type of modular technology or a manifestation that doesn't follow our laws of biology or physics. Have you ever seen a light in the sky that could break apart and become whole again? The frozen beacon. On January 25, 2025, a witness stepped outside and found themselves staring at a brilliant, solitary light that seemed to be anchored in the darkness. While the world below was in constant motion, this object sat perfectly still, a glowing sphere that didn't flicker like a star or drift like a satellite. The quality of the footage may be raw, but the confusion in the witness's voice is unmistakable. They weren't looking for a mystery. They were simply asking a question that the night sky wasn't answering. The timing of this sighting is what makes it so fascinating. That very night, a rare astronomical event known as a planet parade was taking place, with several major planets lining up across the horizon. Venus, the brightest of all, was dazzling in the southwestern sky, while Jupiter dominated the southeast with a steady, unblinking luster. To a casual observer, these planets can look like stationary, glowing balls of light, far brighter and more physical than the surrounding stars. However, the witness noted that this particular object felt different, leading them to wonder if they were looking at a celestial body or something much closer to home. Is it possible that a planet could look so out of place that it triggers a genuine sense of wonder? Or did this witness catch something else that happened to be using the planetary alignment as cover? While Venus and Jupiter are the likely official candidates, they don't always account for the feeling of being watched by a stationary, glowing orb. We're left with an open question for the audience. On a night when the solar system was putting on its best show, did this witness see a distant world? Or was there an uninvited guest hanging over their backyard? What would you think if you saw a light that refused to move? The cloud flicker. In the late evening of January 24th, 2026, the sky over Quezon City, Philippines, held a light at 10:10 p.m. A resident noticed what appeared to be a standard aircraft behind the clouds. But as the minutes ticked by, the light remained perfectly stationary. While we're used to seeing the quick movement of planes or the steady drift of satellites, this object stayed fixed for over 5 minutes, prompting the witness to grab their camera and document a phenomenon that felt entirely out of place in the tropical night. The footage captures a light that seems to live inside the cloud layer rather than reflecting off the bottom of it. While 99% of these sightings are usually just spotlights from the city shining upward, the gradient of the light suggests the source was actually positioned behind or within the clouds. The object didn't just sit there. It began a rhythmic cycle of blinking and flickering, casting a glow that illuminated the surrounding mist from the inside out. There was no thunder to suggest lightning, and no sound of an engine, just a silent, pulsating energy that seemed to be hiding in plain sight. What kind of light source can remain stationary for minutes at a time while flickering with such intensity? If it were a spotlight, the beam would typically be visible through the humidity of the Manila air, yet here, the light seems contained within the cloud itself. We're left to wonder if this was a rare atmospheric event or something more intentional. Could it be a craft using the cloud cover for concealment, or a natural electrical anomaly we don't yet understand? Have you ever seen a cloud flicker as if it had a heartbeat? The Tamworth Glow. On October 15, 2025, the sky over Tamworth took on an eerie, unexpected hue. Residents stepping outside were met not with the usual darkness of autumn, but with a vivid blue light that seemed to hang suspended in the atmosphere. It wasn't a quick flash or a passing beam. It was a steady, radiating glow that felt entirely out of place for a quiet Wednesday evening. As neighbors began checking in with one another, it became clear that this wasn't just a local reflection. The entire town was looking up at the same mystery. The sightings described a light that was deep, electric blue, far more intense than any natural moonglow or starlight. Unlike a typical aircraft with its red and green navigation lights, this object or phenomenon emitted a single, consistent color that didn't flicker or fade. While some initially thought it might be a powerful LED spotlight from a local event, observers noted that the light didn't seem to have a visible beam originating from the ground. Instead, it appeared to be self-contained, glowing from within the clouds and casting a surreal shadow over the streets below. What could cause the sky to turn such a specific, vibrant blue without any sound or explanation? If it were a drone or a high-tech laser, one would expect to see movement or a source, yet this light remained unsettlingly still. Some wonder if it was a rare atmospheric reaction or perhaps a test of new lighting technology, but the lack of official notice has left many feeling uneasy. We want to know what you think. Is this just a modern trick of light? Or is there something about that blue glow that feels a bit too otherworldly for a small town? Did anyone else in the surrounding area see the sky change color that night? The Night Watch. On the night of October 10, 2025, a quiet moment at a window turned into a 10-minute puzzle that defied easy explanation. Two bright objects hung perfectly in place, acting like anchored beacons, while others cut through the darkness with a speed and precision that felt entirely mechanical. For anyone watching, it wasn't just a random sighting. It was a coordinated display that seemed to follow a specific, repeating loop. The witness described a scene that contradicts the usual behavior of stars or satellites. While two lights held their ground, others moved evenly and quickly in multiple directions, weaving a pattern that suggested intelligent control. On this specific night, the sky was already busy with a waning gibbous moon passing near the Pleiades star cluster, but celestial bodies don't hold and move in relation to one another like this. There were no engine sounds or blinking aviation strobes to suggest a standard flight path, just a silent, geometric dance that played out over and over again for the better part of 10 minutes. What kind of technology allows two units to stand perfectly still while others perform high-speed sweeps around them? If this were a satellite train, the movement would be a single, straight line, not a repeating pattern in different directions. Some might point to advanced drone light shows or military exercises, but the lack of official notice in residential areas makes that a difficult theory to accept. We're left to wonder, are we seeing a new type of atmospheric surveillance? Or is the repeating nature of the movement a sign of a localized phenomenon we haven't yet named? Did anyone else standing at their window that night see the sky repeat itself? The hovering spiral. The quiet coastal atmosphere of Red Cliff took a strange turn on the 28th of December 2025. While many people were winding down from the holiday season, a witness captured something that felt more like a glitch in the atmosphere than a standard aerial sight. According to the witness, it wasn't a passing light or a distant glimmer, it was a large, luminous presence that dominated the sky. This was a physical anomaly that forced the observer to stop and record, providing a rare look at a phenomenon that didn't fit the usual patterns of the night sky. The footage, which includes a steady zoom for detail, reveals a massive blue circle hanging in the darkness. Unlike a star or a planet, which remains a sharp point of light, this object appeared to be actively spinning, creating a rhythmic motion that felt entirely mechanical. The witness noted the scale of the circle, which seemed far too large to be a drone and far too vibrant to be a simple reflection. As the camera zoomed in, the blue glow maintained its perfect circular shape, rotating with a steady confidence that suggested a power source or a system that doesn't rely on wings or traditional engines. What could cause a massive blue ring to spin silently over a coastal town? While some might look for a simple explanation, like a light from the ground, the witness describes it as a physical object positioned high in the air. The lack of sound and the specific spinning motion raise deep questions about what is actually moving through our airspace. Is this a type of technology that we aren't yet familiar with, or a natural occurrence that has never been documented quite like this? We want to know if anyone else in the Red Cliff area saw the blue spiral that night. Was it a one-time event? Or is the sky starting to show us things we can't explain away? The Russian sphere. In 2002, long before the era of high-definition smartphones and viral AI filters, a man named Vasily Goleshapov captured something in Russia that remains a cornerstone of unexplained aerial footage. Captured on a traditional camera and later stabilized to reveal its true behavior, the footage provides a raw look at a craft that appeared entirely indifferent to the gravity and wind that govern everything else in our sky. The video shows a distinct, spherical object that moves with a jarring, mechanical precision. Unlike a bird caught in a thermal or a balloon drifting with the breeze, The sphere moves in sharp linear patterns, shifting rapidly up and down, then darting from left to right. It maintains a perfect geometric form throughout these maneuvers, showing no signs of tilting or the banking turns required by planes or helicopters. The movement is smooth, yet abrupt, suggesting a propulsion system that doesn't rely on the air around it to gain momentum or change course. What kind of technology existed in 2002 that could perform these jagged, right-angle movements without making a sound or losing its shape? If it were a secret military drone, it was decades ahead of anything publicly known at the time. The way the sphere interacts with the space around it feels less like a flight and more like a cursor moving across a screen completely unrestricted by the laws of physics as we understand them. It leaves us with a lingering question. If this level of technology was already in our skies over 20 years ago, who was behind the controls, and where are they now? Thank you so much for watching, and with that said, subscribe to the channel and see you in the next video.